organizing committee to give the topic of your presentation. I was again in trouble. Because for me it takes at least a month or more than a month to come to a research point. I am a very slow learner, and for me it is really very difficult. So I didn't know what topic should I choose. Anyway, it's the blessing of God and those good wishes that I could come to a research point. And now I am here in front of you to make you my judges. Let me thank first of all the principal of this college, Professor Mamta Rani. She is outstanding in every respect. In academics or in administration. I have seen her working and I really appreciate her. The way she takes work from her teachers, from the non-teaching staff. She mixes with each and every one. And no one feels that she is different. That quality I do like to imbibe. I don't know how far I will succeed in my mission. I would like to tell you, friends, that she is, in fact, our first year. Who has saved lives of many untold. I must let you know that she had been a seminar girl before she joined as a principal. Hopping, perching and chirping from one seminar to the other, from one conference to the other, I have observed her. She takes keen interest in all these activities. Whenever there is a seminar, there is a conference, उनका दिल मचल जाता है वहां जाने. Now, after she had joined as principal, I'm slave to the words because what I have noted down, I don't want that I should miss reading them. That's why I am taking help of the paper. Now, after she had joined as principal, she had become from seminar bird to conference queen. I don't like to call her Dr. Mamta Rani. I would like to call her Dr. Conference Queen. She had been organizing seminars, workshops, conferences after she had joined as principal. And I had been a witness to all her seminars, especially in English. thank my student Dr. Jitendra Mishra, who brought me here. When he was a student, he worked in party government. Doctor for literary and cultural activities. And I must tell you that Dr. R.R.P. Sinha selected me as the secretary of the association from the teacher side. And Dr. Jitendra Mishra was the secretary from the student side. Not only this, Professor R.R.P. Sinha decided that there will be paper presentation from the teacher side. Each month, a teacher will present his paper. There were so many senior teachers in my department. And I was, in fact, forced to be the first speaker, first one to present my paper. I had no experience at all. That was my first paper presentation. Before that, I had not presented any paper anywhere in any seminar, because seminar was not in fashion those days. Very few seminars were held. One was held in 2003, in which Professor Nilima was also there. Professor Mamta Rani was also there. All these teachers, Dr. Anita Singh, Dr. Devra Prasad. So, those days, very few seminars were held. And how I presented my paper, Dr. Jitendra Mishra will tell you. But I presented my paper very confidently, no doubt. But it was followed by a volley of questions. Do you know by whom? Not by Swami Sarkar. He is not here perhaps. Are you here? Yes. Not by Swami Sarkar. But Jitendra Mishra.
Please come here. Come here.
आगे आओ, आगे आओ. And those were really mind-boggling questions. They were answers to me. But somehow I managed. I don't know what was there with me. I managed somehow. So this speaks about Dr. Jitendra Mishra, his interest, his doubts, his inquiries. It is these doubts, these inquiries which pave the way for success. If you have no doubt, if you don't have an inquiring mind, you fail to be a researcher. You fail to be a teacher. Because a teacher is also a researcher, a scholar, always a research scholar. Other members of the organizing committee, such as Professor Anita Singh, Professor Iqbal Sir, Professor Nilima Kha, Professor Lalit Prabha, Tathagat Banerjee, Dharmaraj, and all others who were directly or indirectly involved in making this seminar a success. Respected chairperson, Professor Anita Singh, head University Department of English, Professor Deepak Prasad, Tribhuvan Kumar. He is my younger brother, and I am proud of him that he is doing well, he speaks well. For the first time I heard him yesterday, and I was really delighted. He had been going to seminars this was the first time that I heard. So respected chairperson and other dignitaries sitting on the dais, Upendra Gami, the coordinator of this session, delegates, research scholars and students. I have not taken any part. Such as you heard yesterday, the idea of drama. I am Gandhi, I am not a Gandhi. I don't have courage to touch those issues because I fear that I will burn my hands when I touch it. That's why I have come up here with a very simple talk, very simple talk. And this is as you know, retelling of myth and their significance is Karnataka Communist Party has Sati. See, while discussing particular about these authors, Girish Karnad and Adis Tripathi and Shashi Tharoor, I'll be brief because you have an idea of these authors, and it is also said that brevity is the soul of wit. So I won't speak much on them, but certainly some important points that I have gathered, I will share with you. But before coming to my main concern, I would like to make two assertions related to the topic. First is, I find two important facts in the topic. Myth. and the other one is Indian English literature. I will not speak on the rest, society and cultural narratives, because I believe that society and cultural narratives are the parts of me. So to my mind, these facts were redundant. You may disagree. And it's good that you disagree, because then some new things will open up. So, I'd like to tell you that language, though it has come from England, no doubt, we have owned it, or in the process of owning. We speak various kinds of Englishes. In India, such as English, Banglish, Manglish, we have Bhojpuri English, we have Mathili English, we have Maghi English, and we all accept all kinds of English. Now the days. Gone are the days when people used to say, hey, why will you pronounce this word like this? We are a liberty today. Why to follow our? Let others understand what kind of English I am speaking. Let them check the pronunciation. I remember once I had been to LNMU for some official work, perhaps it was moderation, I don't remember, long back 10 years ago. A seminar was organized and some papers were collected and edited, and a big professor has come to me to present the book that said this book has come up, has been edited, and this is what it was. So when I was talking to him, he was a big professor. I will take subaltern theory. It is very popular now. Understood that he is talking about. I said, I didn't say anything. But I said, the other teacher, head of the department, perhaps, Professor Jha, is no more now, died of cancer. So, what about the pronunciation? This is an important word, actually. This is subaltern. And those days I remember that this Google was not so popular. I think this is the way back in 2006 I had Google 11. Google was not solid. We had Google the pronunciation of the word and make it here see. This is the pronunciation of. So what I want to say, even if somebody says subaltern, I am ready for it. In fact, we have own English in our own way. We make use of word mixing and word switching. Word mixing and word switching by way of communication, either in verbal or in written. So we can claim today that English is one of the Indian languages. I would like to quote here the words of Caliban in the papers, who says, "You taught me English. You taught me English, and my profit on it is I know how to curse." Just like Caliban. We know how to speak and write our own English. Today, it is in addition, is that one of the flags in the topic of the seminar, Indian English Literature, does not confine us to the writing done by Indian English writers such as R.K. Narayan, Raja Anand, Raja Rao, Salman Rushdie, Karnal, Amish Tripathi, Sachi Tharoor, Anita Desai, and so on and so forth. It also includes all the Indian writers who have written in languages other than English, and their works are translated into English or likely to be translated into English or not at all translated, but all will include in Indian. I repeat again. Today, it is the time of transliteration. Transliteration. Even though someone has written in vernacular, it is being translated and taken problems. I would like to mention here the book Tomb of Sand, originally published in Hindi as Red Samadhi by Gitanjali Sri and translated into English by American translator and writer Lady Rockwell. Please keep quiet at the back. The original author got the Booker Prize. The original author got the Booker Prize, a prestigious prize. Got renowned overnight. So this is the part of our Indian literature. Won't you call it? Won't you include it in Indian English literature? So Indian English literature includes all other writers of India. All the writers of India, such as Matthew Saran, Ramthari Singh Dinkar, or Harivansh Rai Bachchan, or Virat Gorakhpuri, or Anishwar Nath Bedi. And during my deliberations, I would mention even such writers, and I think you should not have any doubt over them. It includes even the regional languages such as Mathli, Maghi and Bhojpuri and all the other regional languages. What we need to do is to work to rise the master tongue, which is English. We would make English a vernacular in Indian languages. The master tongue, which is English. And once, actually why I am saying so, that once I was reading an article, a student of literature, it is our duty to contribute.
In South India, they have already made it. They will say, you are right, sir. So it is a vernacular.
Right. Being a student of literature, it is our duty to contribute to the progress of all Indian languages and also contribute to the growth of Indian culture. The new education policy, I would like to add to this one, the 2020, you have heard already, also focuses on the growth of Indian literature. We should all strive towards achieving this goal without being critical of it. We have already strived towards the post-colonial studies and subaltern studies and made a remarkable progress on such issues. The next assertion which I would like to make is about myth, as you know, the traditional narrative passed down from generation to generation, which may be real or may not. I would like to tell you what I have felt about myth. There is a very thin line between myth and legend. What is legend today will turn out to be a myth. Do you remember what Albert Einstein said about Mahatma Gandhi, father of the nation? Once he said about him, generations to come will scarce believe that such a one as this, ever in flesh and blood, walked upon this earth. These words are testimony to my assertion. What is legend today will become a myth tomorrow. Time passes. And layers after layers are formed on memory and history.